Well, we've got kind of a good news, bad news situation on Frugal BC today. The good news is we have a huge partnership announced on Algorand. This just happened recently, but we also had a major project shut down on Algorand. Yet again, we're going to talk about which one that is on today's Frugal BC. Plus, some news about XGov, limit orders on Tinyman and PacFi. Do they have a new token? Well, yes, they do. We will get into the details on that. You might be able to get some. So we'll look at all that on today's Frugal BC. By the way, guys, if you like this stuff, please hit that like and subscribe button. Now, remember, of course, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently, and it works just fine that way too, believe it or not. Today's video is brought to you by non-fungible domains. That's right. If you want that .algo address that makes doing everything in Algorand so much easier, check out non-fungible domains in the description below. They got vaults, segments, all kinds of wonderful stuff to make your life in the Algorand ecosystem so much easier. So check them out, non-fungible domains. And we are brought to you by Marcus Aurelius. This is a meme coin and NFT project on the Algorand blockchain. These guys are spreading the word about Stoicism. How cool is that? Stoicism has helped me in my life through some difficult times, and I just love that. They've combined these two things with the blockchain, and it's wonderful. Great founder, and they're doing really cool stuff, so check them out. Marcus Aurelius in the description below. But enough about that. Let's get to today's video. And we start off with a very big announcement. Always nice to see. Why don't we just dive right into this news? And this is from the company called Paycode. Algo Foundation and Paycode announced partnership to expand financial inclusion. In case you're wondering what that means, well, why don't we just take a look here? The Algorand Foundation today announced a new strategic partnership with Paycode, a global leader in biometric and offline digital payment systems, to advance inclusive financial infrastructure across underserved and remote communities. So Paycode operates in countries including Afghanistan, Ghana, Zambia, Mozambique, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, where large segments of the population remain offline and excluded from formal financial services. Through this collaboration, Paycode and Algorand will explore integrating public blockchain technology to strengthen digital identity systems, improve transparency, and unlock new models for delivering secure, inclusive payments at scale. What does that all mean? Means they're going to use blockchain to bring financial stuff to people that don't have it. There's your decoding for the day. I just hate the way press releases are written. Currently used by more than 6 million individuals across 8 countries who live in offline, remote, and underserved regions. To date, Paycode has facilitated the secure disbursement of $250 million in aid and social payments. So that's a lot. You know, that's the really important stuff that, you know, probably should go up front. And you know, this is the kind of stuff we like to see. This is the original the original mission of Algorand, as stated by Silvio Macaulay. For Algorand, it was to bring financial inclusion, so this is right on point with that. So that's our good news for today. I actually got some more good news, but let's get back to the next piece. And that is the XGov vote is live. That's right, the next vote to choose who are going to be the ex-governors is now live on chain. So let's take a look at this now. I did not participate. I elected not to. It seemed that the fact that they required a GitHub application seemed to signal that they were looking for technical-minded people. And, you know, I have a little bit of technical knowledge, but not nearly enough that I didn't think my participation would be good, but we will see a familiar face in the XGov list. So let's take a look at this. And by the way, this comes from Adri at the foundation. And now you may remember we had Adri on our channel, talking about XGov, and now it's live, including the election. So let's look at the details. All right, this is right from Adri. She says, thank you to all the candidates in the first XGov Council election. This is a pivotal time for our community as we start evolving how we approach decentralized decision making. As we start this journey, the XGov Council powers are still very limited in scope, with the foundation retaining control over the XGov platform operations. Over time, we intend to transfer the platform management to the XGov Council for truly decentralized process. So here was the criteria. You had to be an algo holder and part of the community. Now I would have been that. Apply, including their name on the Algorand Foundation repo on GitHub, following the templates supplied. That to me signaled they're looking for technical people, mostly developers, I think. And go through the KYC process with the Algorand Foundation, you know, and that might have been a problem with some people. You did have to identify yourself. I did discuss that, and ultimately they just want to, because I thought, well, you know, part of the allure of of crypto is just pseudonymity. I probably said that wrong. Pseudonymity. Pseudonymity. Okay, I'll stop. At the end of the application review period, 2 candidates were eliminated through the KYC process, one for their country of residence. I wonder what that country was, and the other for not completing the process within the requested time frame. Well, I'm very curious. Who is that? What country? Was it political? I kind of want to know. I don't know. Well, we'll get to, I'll have to ask some questions about that. The candidate list. Now, I know a couple people on here. Let's see. Ludo Schultz is Everyday Algonaut. He's in our chat a lot. He watches our live stream. Wilder Stubbs. John Mazzoni, on X as Probably Fishing. He is the founder of Non-Fungible Domains and Transaction Labs. Simon Bellinger, Kieran Nelson, Joseph Wu, Nicholas Schallerberger, Naoki Yamamoto, got a Japanese person here, that's cool. Robbie Baxter, I don't know if people know, I actually speak Japanese to an extent. Now this one is interesting. Mohammed Majado Mohammed here, and he's Angel of Aries. Now he's kind of a controversial figure in the Algorand space. I can't really get into it more than that. Patrick Bennett, Paul Hinrichsen, Gabor Lipovitsky, Paweł Piersonek. I think we got some Polish people here, just like, I'm Polish in origin anyway, in ethnicity, along with other things. Scott Bolesek, Taras Hirniak, Sean Menstell Fraser, Julian Vanderwell, Andrew Kotulek, Dr. Uos Hujamalsh, I don't know. There's a guy doctor though. Mohammed Gaisi and Michael Chuang. So I only know a few of those names, but it's pretty interesting. And let's see, the election process. We will use the governance portal, of course, without rewards. We made a few modifications to remove mentions of rewards, but the structure and function remain the same. Yeah, by the way, governance has still been going on, just like no one pays attention because there's no rewards. Governance period 15 will run for the first 2 weeks of July. Commitment phase will kick off on 1st of July for 7 days and be immediately followed by the voting phase from the 8th to the 15th of July. So kind of a short one this time. There'll be one measure for each candidate, and governors will be required to vote on all measures, selecting one of the 3 options: yes, no, or abstain. Let's see. So basically, Michelle Treccani has posted the details about how the votes will be counted, but simply put, the post-election list will be ordered from most to least voted. The 11 most voted candidates will form the first 12-month council cohort. Candidates in 12th and 13th would be put in the reserve pool, and if any of the 11 elected councilors request to exit the program before the end of their term, one of the reserve candidates will take their place. So the elected candidates will sign a contract. They'll get 5,000 algo for their 12-month membership, which is less than $1,000 now. Expect to have all contracts signed over 2 to 3 weeks, overlapping with the XGV enrollment period. So we got 24, and it's going to be cut down to 11. So it's less than half, but almost half. So that means you got pretty good odds. If you got yourself on this list, you probably have pretty good odds of getting in there. And that is Algorand governance. You can head over to you find adri.algo on Twitter. You can find the full list under her name. Pretty easy to find. But let's get to the next piece of news. We talked about limit orders on TinyMan earlier, and now it is live for everybody. So let's take a quick look at this. Right from TinyMan itself, big news from TinyMan. After 2 weeks of exclusive early access for Tiny governors, we're officially launching trigger orders and recurring buys to the entire Algorand community. Here's what this means for you. I just call them limit orders. I think trigger orders is weird. Don't change the terminology. Set price based on buy-sell orders on TinyMan. Want to buy algo when it dips to a specific price or sell when it hits your target? Now you can automatically. Of course, that's how limit orders work. You can also do recurring buys, dollar cost averaging. So you can invest regularly without timing the market, set it, forget it, and stack your favorite tokens over time. Perfect for long-term believers in algo, Tiny, or any other asset with a pool on TinyMan, so you can build your position with less stress. Why it matters: more powerful DeFi tools, smarter investing, less guessing, full control of your strategy, and ideal for both beginners and advanced users. I actually think this is a really important thing for a DEX to have. You need that ability to snatch these lows, because what happens a lot of times is like you'll hit a flash. It'll happen on Coinbase to me all the time. You'll hit a flash candle up and you'll trigger a sell order that you wouldn't have gotten anyway, because you never would have gotten that flash unless you were just, eyes glued to the markets all day, which I don't know, a lot of us have other things to do. So yeah, they really help out a lot. And I think this is a great thing for Algorand. Well, you guys know that Tiny Moneyman has its own governance token. Well, it turns out PacFi is starting one as well, and you might be eligible. Let's take a look here, because some people are going to get airdrops. Here is the POW airdrop details. Opens on June 23rd. That would be today as we record. 50 million tokens, which is 5% of the supply. 23,624 eligible wallets and 90 days to claim. You can check your eligibility at this website. Yeah, so 9 hours left. Actually a little under 10 hours as I record this. It's assuredly less than that by the time you're watching. Okay, so we are pleased to relate to our long-term users that there will be an airdrop of 50 million POW to reward and give thanks to our historic users of Pact and Humble. Yeah, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes there. I don't remember all the details at the moment, but I know there was a bit of a merging here, kind of. The same company owns both now, as well as our Pact NFT holders. We have designed this to be as fair as possible, implementing a variable score across a multitude of metrics for our users to help prevent early whales and better reward our loyal users no matter what the size. So that'll be claimable on the 23rd. That is today, like I said, as I record it. And the airdrop will be around for 3 months. So you got to claim it in that time. Unclaimed funds will be returned to the protocol and held, setting up one of the first government votes how we should redistribute. Oh man. Oh wait, yeah, you can. Yeah, it looks like I was eligible for some POW. I just wanted to check because I have used PacFi a little, but very minimally. So, you know, if you only used Pac a little bit, don't think that maybe you don't have any, because I do qualify for some. So just something to keep in mind. But last but not least, unfortunately, yet another Algorand project has gone under. This time it is Algorand Casino, which actually surprises me because I felt like they might have had a business model that would be sustainable. Why don't we dive into this here? Yeah, so this is right from Algorand Casino themselves, and this came out yesterday. Well, why don't we dive in? So TLDR, Algorand Casino is closing all operations on June 30th due to unsustainable business conditions. This is not a rug pull, it's a failed business. That's an interesting distinction. I think that is a fair distinction, because I think a lot of people call it rug pull when it's just, you still might feel rug pulled because kind of that's what happens. If you owned a bunch of chip, yeah, that's what's going to happen to you. But rug pull implies that the founders are running off with a bunch of money, and that might not always be the case. Sometimes the business just fails. Reality is that our business model has become unsustainable due to significant reduced activity across all our applications. Well, that's a bummer. General decline in Algorand ecosystem activity, rising operational costs that we can no longer cover and have not been able to cover for some time. I heard that it was like $600 a day to host it. I think just the hosting was $600. I saw that somewhere. Don't hold me to that because I don't see this. And major security exploits which we suffered this year that, while not compromising any customer data, resulted in significant chip losses that further accelerated our downward trend. Yeah, that doesn't help. Yeah, we did report on that earlier, by the way. Our financial situation, to be completely transparent with our community, we borrowed substantial funds to keep operations running as long as possible. We maintained a large vault on Compex that recently hit liquidation levels. This vault was established some time ago with those funds, and those funds helped sustain our business over the past year. The liquidation has accelerated the downward pressure on our chips. It costs around $600 a day to keep Algorand Casino going. That's the number I was talking about. I just didn't read down far enough. I'd seen that somewhere else. This is the cost of salaries, servers, third-party services, etc. We have not been bringing in that amount for a long time now. Yeah, that's a real bummer. And they want to make it clear it's not a rug pull. So over the next week, they're going to process any outstanding user withdrawals, provide clear instructions for any remaining user funds, ensure a transparent wind down process, and open source any of our software that doesn't require third-party licenses so the community can benefit. Cathal, who ran it, wanted to thank people and said that they're going to try to do their best. They take full responsibility. How did people react? Yeah, a lot of people just saying, sorry to hear that, you did your best, that kind of thing. Not a lot of anger. I did see more anger on X. Maybe it's 4K, I'm out now, but F you all. Most people actually were pretty positive here too, but some saying it's not looking so good for Algorand. I own very, very few chips. I did own a little bit. I was doing some experiments. Yeah, I'm pretty sorry to see that. We did turn them down for interviews, mostly because I don't want to associate with gambling. Didn't necessarily hold that against them. I just didn't want to promote gambling on the Frugal BC site, you know, and I had started to think maybe I was wrong. I did want to check out, I did a little experiment with chips as far as like holding on to it, because I think like I'm a big fan of don't chase the gold rush, sell people shovels. sell the gold rushers shovels. That's usually a good business model. And so I thought this was a way to, and I don't know, I still wrestled with the, I know a lot of people don't. I'm surprised at the number of podcasters and stuff that have no problem taking money from gambling operations. Not even having like a, hey, by the way, if you're, you know, here's the gambling hotline if you're struggling with this. They're very predatory, and so I don't want to get preached at by morals from those guys. But anyway, that is our show for today. I hope you got something out of this. Like I said, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. But as always, if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. Like I said, yeah, you don't have to smash it. You can actually just press it really gently, and it works just fine that way too. Appreciate everyone watching. I'm Frugal BC. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.